In association with Official Wrestling comes A Few Good Marks podcast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of A Few Good Marks. I am your host, Kieran, and I'm joined by Alex,
Hello.
Pete,
Hello.
and Candy.
Hi.
Today we are doing a brand new content. Well, it's not brand new content, but it's new to us. So we're doing sort of a bitch cast, if you will. It's what was it we nicknamed it? It was Grappling with Gripes. So basically, if you've ever seen the TV show Room 101, this is essentially how it's going to go down. So we're going to do 2 rounds. We'll come on to the second round in a bit. But first of all, Candy, Alex, and Pete have all thought of something related to WWE that they cannot stand. And they are going to reel it off, give reasons as to why it should be... I don't know, we haven't really thought of punishment, have we, as to what these things... Because obviously it can't be put into Room 101 because that's gimmick infringement. So
We
it's
should
like...
win something.
It's future endeavoured or something. Like your argument gets, I don't know...
Put on the pre-show.
I
against
think if
Sin
we
Cara.
win...
You're not winning anything. You win...
Why? The whole point of Room 101 is that you win.
Yeah, but you don't win anything physical.
Well, I think that whoever wins should get to take a point off another person from the last...
Absolutely not! What a silly suggestion! Anyway...
Then you just give it to me and...
No, I'd just take it off.
You definitely... What, so then the two... Well, then the two...
No, I'd take it off you, give it to me, so just me alone.
Oh, no, you can't... No, I wouldn't have said... Actually, this, why are we even talking about this? Because it's not happening.
Dan was saying he just wouldn't let you win then. He would just...
Yeah, but it's a unanimous vote, so you two could vote for me.
Well, no, it's not unanimous. It's my own vote.
Why?
Because you've got to impress me. You've never seen Room 101.
Why have I got
I
to
am the
impress
Frank
you?
Skinner of this show.
So you haven't come up with one?
No,
No.
because I'm the Frank Skinner. Plus, you guys are all funnier than wittier than me anyway, so it's fine.
Plus we might be able to put together a comprehensive sentence.
This is also true. So we're going to start off with Pete. Pete, what is your gripe about WWE?
So it's probably like the biggest one everyone has at the minute. It's inorganic pushes.
Oh, okay.
So
Ooh.
obviously the big example is the big dog,
Mhm.
Roman Reigns.
Hey.
It's the truth, though.
It's the problem I have is just the fact that they haven't learned. Take someone like Stone Cold
Right.
Rock.
or The Rock,
Mhm.
people who got themselves over and became like absolute megastars. The Rock, pretty much one of, if not like the most famous person in the world right now.
Yeah, biggest movie star going.
And they should do with Reigns exactly what they did with him. Came in as this clean-cut white meat babyface, all smiles, hugging kids and shit, and people wanted him dead.
Well,
They did, didn't they?
relatable.
Die Rocky Die was quite the chance of the day.
Yeah.
So they went, this isn't working. Turned him heel. Became massively over as a heel. To the point where, okay, people like him too much now, we'll put him as a face again.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked.
Yeah.
So why the hell can they not do the same thing with Reigns?
And you'd have thought they've learned from someone like Lex Luger and other people they've tried to push inorganically in the past, like Bobby Lashley.
So I just don't get the stubbornness of it.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
It's not a gripe against like Reigns himself.
Like even Daniel Bryan is somebody who's gone against that and is like one of the biggest stars in WWE right now.
But again, yeah, another perfect example.
A lot of people get the best reactions when they're not getting the push as well.
Yeah,
Rusev.
Yeah.
Strowman.
Yeah.
There's the stubbornness. If we're talking about Japan for a sec.
Yeah.
With Tetsuya Naito, when they gave him the big babyface push and the crowd turned on him, they didn't just carry on with the plans and have him win the title at Wrestle Kingdom. They kicked him out of the main event at Wrestle Kingdom and sent him to Mexico. I'm like, don't come back until you're over.
Genius.
And then when he came back, he was a massive heel, and the fans started to grow respect for him. They turned him babyface. He's the biggest merch seller in Japan.
Yeah. Bigger than Bullet Club.
Bigger than Bullet Club. And still WWE are like, no, Reigns, you want him. You want him.
You know you want
I
him.
think the issue with WWE is that Reigns sells a lot of merch. What are you laughing at?
The group
Will
chat.
it
I've only
approve,
just
by
seen
the
it.
way?
I know,
Will
I've
it
only just seen it.
So
Moving
anyway, like Reigns sells a lot of merch,
on.
as does John Cena, because he appeals to the kids. The kids aren't the ones with a voice. The kids aren't the ones.
Kids aren't the ones with money.
Kids aren't the ones who can. Yeah, but it's the parents. The parents back for it. Kids aren't the ones who can realistically afford to buy a ticket and come to the show. If they wanted to, they'd have to ask the mum for Christmas. Oh, mum, can I go to WWE? So
For my birthday week.
Yeah.
yeah, for my death week. So basically, I feel like because WWE just look at it and think, oh, well, he's selling a lot of merch. They just must be winding us all up like that. But you just got to think like the marks don't want it,
True.
and the marks are the people that are the loudest.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't go off. I don't think merch sales justify Reigns' position as well, because
Same.
sure, he might sell a lot of merch, but his merch isn't exactly flying off the handles the way the Austin 316 shirts did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
Christ, they couldn't even like print them fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, and people like New Day, who I think kind of sell more than Reigns, to be honest. That might not be true, but
I think
Be
Reigns
interesting
was
to
top
see the
merch seller
current.
last year.
Be interesting to see what it is at the moment.
yeah.
But we've seen a lot of recent WWE shirts. They're all shite.
They are.
That's
You wouldn't
awful.
want to buy them. So you look on the website and go, that's
Reigns
a nice
has,
shirt. It was
Reigns
at Roman.
has always had
Oh well,
quite
it's a
good
good
merch
shirt.
as well. Like quite like
It's been very him centered. You know what I mean? Very thematic towards him. There's not been anything out of the blue or anything like that. It's not looked totally.
no, but I mean like
off-key.
you wouldn't look stupid wearing it. That's what a lot of people. That's what a lot of people think. Like I have a New Day t-shirt, and I think I wear it for bed. I won't wear it because it's that big blue one with the three of them on it on a unicorn.
yeah.
I think I won't wear that out in public. I'd wear my Roman Reigns t-shirt out in public, and people are like,
Yeah, but I think that's the reason
what
why
band is that?
The thing is, I think that's the reason my Bullet Club ones have got so good.
Yeah,
We're
'cause
kind of
it's
going off topic here a little, but like I can see what you mean. But yeah, in terms of the organic push, the unorganic push, should I say? It's I can totally see what you mean with WWE. They just haven't learned, and there's no actual reason.
We've got
for
very
them
caught
not
up on
to.
Roman. What about Jinder's push last year?
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
There's
Which
no
came out of he wins one number one
these are-
contenders
he was
match.
actually a heel though. So that's different. Like they didn't quite
Kind of
push him
true.
down our throats. They didn't. Make him out.
No, they did push him down our
Yeah,
throats.
but in the best way possible, because Jinder knew he was being pushed down everyone's throats and made a fucking full-on gimmick out of it.
Yeah, true. I
He
guess
knew that Americans was all racist.
it was still unorganic because it was manufactured from out of nowhere.
It just came off better because he's a heel.
And
That's
because
why it
came out of
didn't leave
nowhere.
as
But it
bad a
was
taste.
also
And
the
it was
fact-
also like everyone at this point, I think, with the Jinder thing, most people just laughed. It was like, really, this is what the WWE titles
more
come to.
deserving people to be a top heel champion, and also everyone saw through the fact that you're just doing this to boost subscribers in India,
Yeah.
which failed because they went down when he was champion, and then finally when you have the big show in India that you build up to, he loses to Triple H,
Yeah, amazing.
and now he's back in the mid card again.
Yep, where he belongs. Not even that. He belongs on the pre-show.
He looks good there.
Right.
Just like everyone.
So yeah, that's a very interesting case, and very well thought. Alex, WWE,
It's
your
just
main
what
gripe.
I'm so proud of you all. Anyway, WWE is part-time champions.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to go on a rant here. The power of social media, the pure power. So now I did some research before I did this, right? In that
Oh my
time-
God, are you feeling all right?
In that half an hour that I had before you told me I needed to pick a new thing
Yeah.
until I set off to your house in between having IBS.
TMI, man. TMI. We are mid-recording of a podcast.
I was sat on the toilet and I had
IBS, didn't he used to team with Ted DiBiase?
It was taking a lot of time.
Our new podcast, A Few Good Skid Marks.
And I did some research. And I think everybody says, so Brock Lesnar is obviously my main fucking hatred, because that's current in at the minute. But basically, everyone's like, yeah, but he's a draw. Yeah, but he's a draw. Yeah, but he's a draw. Now, power of social media.
Oh,
guys, right?
here we go. Go on.
How big of a draw is someone with only 1.2 million followers when even his Paul Heyman, his manager, has 600,000 more Twitter followers than he does. Seth Rollins has over 3 million. Roman Reigns has more followers than Brock Lesnar.
Interesting.
Right? So they're more well known. Theoretically, they are more of a draw. He is not a draw anymore. 10 years ago, yeah.
Does he use social media quite frequently though?
No, but neither does Roman Reigns.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Carry on.
So, I would like to point out that he is annoying. He doesn't shut up. Even though it does boost the prestige of other titles, it shouldn't have to. I shouldn't be sat watching Raw thinking, I can't wait for the Intercontinental to be defended. Like, that's not how it works. Like, I should be looking forward to... No, I don't think that it should be defended on Raw every week because I do think that takes away from it. But I think that every title should be defended at every pay-per-view unless it's like a big tag match with the champion in that tag. You know what I mean? Or like... I don't know, some sort of big stipulation match where the title's not on the line. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the champion should be at every single fucking pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. Every single pay-per-view. It's getting boring. It's getting, like... It is literally... Everybody's like, oh, yeah, but it's boosting the prestige of the Universal title. It's not. It's doing absolutely nothing. Like, I could not care less for it. Whoever wins it now is just going to look shit. Literally, even if Braun wins it now... off this big massive push that he's going to get, he'll still be like, oh yeah, but it was only off a part-timer. What a waste. What a pure
Have
fucking
you
waste.
got any other evidence apart from Lesnar? Is there anybody else, part-time champions, that you particularly...
No, but it kind of annoyed me when John Cena was a little bit of a part-timer. That kind of annoyed me a little bit.
The Rock as well, maybe?
Yeah, like, I kind of get annoyed at part-timers, like, but... I can handle like The Rock and like when Hogan used to come like in and out before all this shit happened, like
back in 03.
Yeah, like he used to just do like random appearances like at Mania and stuff, as did The Rock, was Cena. None of them was champions at that time.
Yeah. But your thing is on part-time champions though, isn't it? So.
Yeah, so like part-timers annoy me, but part-time champions annoy me even more.
Okay.
I think with Brock, it was okay up to a point.
Yeah, it's boring.
And then
now.
He's been champion too long, and it's now got
the other thing I'd also say with Lesnar is,
also
when was the last time you genuinely watched a Lesnar match and afterwards went, that was good though?
Yeah, this is literally what I was just going to say.
I'd say... Oh, actually, yeah, his one match with Styles wasn't bad.
It probably
I was thinking more back to like when he first came back against Cena in 2015.
It probably wouldn't bother me, but Brock Lesnar's got shit. Like, you know, like they say, like wrestlers get rusty because like you stop wrestling. He is like prime example. He's getting rusty.
Well, all he can do is
German suplex people, and that takes. Sorry, but it takes no fucking skill.
Yeah, and then you go back.
Can the German suplex me on a trampoline once? I landed on his head.
A German suplex takes absolutely no skill. It's the other person jumping.
It's like if you go back and watch his matches like Kurt Angle and The Undertaker from his first run, and now watch him as like a different Brock Lesnar, almost like one who doesn't give a shit.
Like, it's the fact that he has this big, massive ego to go with it. Like, not even like in a kayfabe ego. It's like a genuine ego. Like, if you watch all the fucking podcasts that Reigns and Dean Ambrose did with Jericho, I think it was.
And Austin as well, I think we've said stuff on.
They got into a lot of trouble for that. Like, Reigns is fucking Vince's golden boy, and even Reigns got into trouble for badmouth. He didn't even badmouth Brock Lesnar, he just said the match was difficult to plan. He didn't badmouth him at all. He got a fucking bollocking for that. He got an absolute bollocking. If I remember rightly, he was took off Raw that week. So, and that's Roman Reigns. We've just been talking about. That's the fucking golden boy. That's Vince's. That's fucking Vince's boy. Vince's boy.
Who's Vince? Who's this Vince?
Do you know what I mean? Like, the fact that I don't know, and he just shits on everyone. Everyone he's against, he just shits on. So like, it doesn't even matter, like, because you know that however Brock loses this title now, it's going to be a shit.
Do you
match.
think the only way it could turn well if he just vacates it? If they strip him?
Honestly, I do. I think that's why I'm really hoping for that he vacates it tonight on Raw, because the time that we filmed this, it was going to be the big ultimatum.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, so, we don't know.
But
by the time this podcast will probably go out the weekend of SummerSlam as well, so
So
There's so much that could have happened at this point.
Like, I'm just hoping that they vacate it and then do a big tournament for it, and then it'll bring back maybe a little bit of prestige that is lost.
Mm-hmm.
The last good Lesnar match was the 4-way at SummerSlam. But he was not in it for half of it because he was taken off on stretcher.
Yeah, true. I said the last good one-on-one Lesnar match that I really enjoyed was probably against Cena. Not even the one against Orton at SummerSlam a few years ago, where he cracked his head open. Yeah, the Extreme Rules match against Cena when he first came back.
Yeah,
that was probably the last good Lesnar match I can remember. That was some good. That's a very good point, and I do agree. I absolutely despise Lesnar.
It was more of a point against Brock Lesnar than IC champions.
Yeah, because there hasn't been any not to this extent.
No. Not to this extent.
Not to this
extent. The Rock
like,
was
I'm not
still
funny,
on
but
Raw and stuff.
This is why I'd fucking get annoyed as well. WWE go back on their word because Naomi got injured. She didn't even know if it was going to take 30 days to thingy, and she had to vacate the title the day after she got injured. She could have been back next week.
Apparently, the rule is, I don't know whether WWE have gone back and amended this because of Lesnar. It's fit. If you can't defend it if you're fit, then and you don't defend it in 30 days, that's fine. If you can't defend it because you're injured and you physically can't defend it, then
within 30 days,
vacated.
then it gets vacated.
But I physically can't defend it because he's not there.
Well, no, but he's physically fit to defend it. He's just not contractually obliged to. Or so we're led to believe.
But I don't know if that's WWE going back and going, oh no, this is the actual rule. Like, yeah, sure it is.
Yeah.
Now that it works for you, this is the rule.
Yeah, exactly. No, very good points made. Candy, your WWE gripe, please, good sir.
Oh, my WWE gripe, and this is on behalf of Liam Croft,
of course,
who cannot be here today, but it is the misuse of NXT talents once they've been brought up to the main roster.
Okay.
And I think they got off on a good foot with Kevin Owens. Mm-hmm. He was like the first one that was brought up. I think he was still NXT champion at the time, wasn't he?
Yep.
And he came in and he beat,
that era, yeah.
He beat John Cena in his first match, and we're like, we are rolling here. And then there's they did it good once.
Well, then Finn went up and was instantly made Universal Champion, beat Roman clean on Raw, fair play.
Won the title at SummerSlam.
Then
vacated the next night.
Well, that was
not done much since.
Yeah, true.
But it's more recent ones. So if we go through, another go on was Asuka.
Yeah.
Asuka was brought up. They maintained their undefeated streak, and then she lost it to Charlotte at WrestleMania, which is a fine place to lose it. We talk about Sanity, who were brought up on SmackDown, lost their first tag match, and then get stuck on the pre-show. Andrade Almas, who was the champion at the start of this year, has had
a 5-star match.
What many have called the best match in WWE for a long time.
Yeah.
And then they bring him in, tease him with some trailers, go, you're going to wrestle Sin Cara next week. Next week comes and goes. No one turns up. He goes, oh no, we meant the next week. Next week comes and goes. No, not there either. It's like, we actually meant this week. So they wrestle Sin Cara on SmackDown, and they go, guess what? You got to do it again. Pre-show.
On the pre-show.
At Extreme Rules.
And they were wrestling each other on house shows and everything as well.
Yeah. And it's just a case of NXT should be a feeder where you build someone up in the small environment at Full Sail. That's where they still hold it. In NXT, so that when you bring them in, they've got a big name there. And like they say, oh, well, not everyone's going to know them. Most people will know them. I would say most people watch NXT TakeOver, at least the takeovers.
Yeah.
And Raw and SmackDown, the pay-per-views.
My biggest fear for that is when Velveteen Dream comes up.
Yeah.
That is my biggest fear. And personally, I think that he's going to... I've said this. I see Ricochet's going to get over no matter... Or he's still going to continue to impress no matter what he does. So is Dream, to be fair. But Dream has so much more potential. So much potential and all round. You know what I mean?
I think John Cena absolutely singing his praises.
Yeah, exactly. And
I think Adam Cole, the brought up to the main roster, Vince will take one look at him and go, nope, you are doing nothing here, mate.
How about Shake Love 2.0, probably?
Yeah, that's also another big fear I've got.
That was another thing they were doing with Rude and Shinsuke. They'd be brought up. They'd have to
Both as a pain.
They'd have to go through the gatekeeper of NXT, Dolph Ziggler, which instantaneously sucked away all momentum they had. And Dolph Ziggler has said that. He referred to himself as the gatekeeper to NXT. He's like, I was just going through months where they bring someone new up, they face me, we have a few matches, and then they go off. Corbin.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can see the point. Yeah, that's
and they've got
really
so much
annoying,
potential of bringing people in, and they do absolutely nothing with it. They just squander everything.
And yet and then they wonder why people prefer NXT to the main roster.
Yeah.
What do you think that's a bio show of? Do you think that's NXT overhyping talent in NXT, or do you think that that's bad writing or bad management?
No,
on the
I
main
think
roster?
that's NXT doing exactly what NXT should do. They need to create stars to get people to watch their show and to get people to go to their takeover events. So they're doing exactly what they should. They're writing people in ways, they're booking people correctly. Then they get to the main roster, you've got more writers.
Because at NXT they've got more freedom there.
Exactly.
I think it's a lot to do with Triple H as well.
Yeah.
If you've got more people to take care of in the main roster, you've got so many things going on, they might not get a second look in, they can't have that opportunity. And especially if they're new, if they've got comfortable in NXT, talking to Vince, talking to Triple H, talking to like their agents, I mean, can we do this, can we do that? They're new, they might not want to piss anyone off.
Yeah.
So they just go, yeah, I'll do that, yeah, I'll do that. Next thing you know, you're on the pre-show. Because no one gives a shit about you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, very good points. Now I've got to choose. I think in terms of part-time champions, there's only really been two that I can think of, which was The Rock, who admittedly actually did put his shift in. And then obviously the main one, as you said, is against Brock Lesnar. And I mean, that's, by this time that this podcast goes out, that may have been resolved. Brock Lesnar may not be the champion at this point. He may have
500 days late, but
he may have vacated it, or whatever, or maybe about to face somebody at SummerSlam. We don't know. But I think that is a granted, while it's an annoyance right now, I don't think it's like a recurring one like the other two. So I don't think it's as that one is as big as these two. With NXT and getting called up again, it's a problem of. I think it's a multitude of problems, because you're creating these huge stars in NXT, and then you're bringing them up to the main roster expecting them to have the same star power, but there's not room for them at the top. But, well, I mean, maybe there is, but it's not being managed very well.
Don't bring them up then. If there's no room for it, if creative has nothing for you, then keep them in NXT, especially if they're top guys in NXT. Keep them there so they can keep being top guys, rather than being nothing on the main roster.
Literally, the Authors of Pain got called up, obviously, Raw after Mania. Had maybe about 3 matches, and then they've been off TV for like 2 months or something.
Dropped Paul Ellering for no reason.
Yeah.
Because Paul Ellering couldn't do the tour schedules.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like, I'm really in two minds.
Then you feel worried about other guys in NXT, like you said, like you don't want them to bring them up because you know
this
that
is
they're
true.
not
With
do well.
with the unorganic pushes, they're annoying, and they've had the bad moments and had this, that, and the other. But with Roman being the only one who knows, and especially when Triple H eventually takes over, who knows if that's going to stick around for very much longer. This is a byproduct of Vince McMahon, or unorganically, choosing someone that nobody else wants. We've seen it done before, and he keeps doing it. Granted, there are success stories, the Mick Foleys, the Daniel Bryans, who were, and then you have the thing that with The Rock and Austin as well, organically getting over Undertaker. You look at the big stars in the world, and they did get over. Even I'd say Cena, to a degree. I just think the problem why so many people turned on Cena is because he was at the top for so long and was the same throughout. There was no change to him.
Yeah.
So he just grew stale and didn't do anything to his repertoire. I think that was Cena's problem. But in terms of the unorganic push, especially when we're looking at Reigns, there seemed a time when that was all over, especially when Finn beat him clean on Raw and then won the Universal title. and he was nowhere near the first picture for that. And Reigns still hasn't won Universal Champion. So, like, it's yes, while he's still there and he is still being the golden boy, like, you know, he's not going to fade away from the main event scene anytime soon. But apart from having these matches with Brock Lesnar, this is the closest he's ever come to being Universal Champion. But then you say that, and then you look at how they treated him with the WWE title. But this was during the main phase of his push, which also failed. I really am in two minds. But I think I'm going to go with the NXT call-ups because it's genuinely something I'm really like. It's something that I personally am like. And I even said it about, you know, I'm scared for like when Dream comes up and Adam Cole and even Gargano and Ciampa. Like, my God, they're doing such amazing work and character work stuff like that. And it's just going to be, you know, Tommaso Ciampa's just going to be another guy standing on the stage soon, which he definitely doesn't need to be. Like, that is a feud for the ages. That's another problem, is the oversaturation of feuds. Just something in general. So Candy, well done. I'm just winning that one. On behalf of Croft as well.
Shout out to Croft.
On behalf of Croft too. That was very well done. That's the problem with...
Do you know I'd be proud of me winning that?
Was it Willow? So I just think with NXT, like the Owens and Zayn feud, once they got called up, it was just terribly mishandled. Can you imagine if Okada and Omega faced each other in the same year span as Owens and Zayn did in 2016?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they didn't want to do it 6 months. They didn't want to do it 6 months after the first one.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing it 4 consecutive pay-per-views? Like, you know what I mean? So,
could you imagine if they were forced to go into relationship counselling and do skits every week?
Moving swiftly on. So, Candy wins that round. We're going to move on to our second round, which is just wrestling in general.
Can mine pretty much be WWE though? Because it's mainly what happens.
No, it's not. But I mean,
as long as you make an example.
I mean, if it's
because I'll be doing the same.
If it's an example within WWE, like, but it does also happen outside of WWE. Like, I don't know many other places that do unorganic booking. Obviously, NXT is a WWE byproduct anyway, and then part-time champions are very sold. You know, that was a very specific example with Brock Lesnar. So, as long as it happens outside of WWE as well, I wouldn't see a problem with it. With the main example coming from WWE itself. So, we'll start again with Pete.
Mine is something that doesn't happen in WWE. Mine's something that very much happens in the indies. My gripe is people who make
people
merch.
not putting Pete over.
Yes, bastards, not just. No, it's people when making merch who rip off things like Bullet Club or King.
Oh wow, that is a really, really good shout. Go on, continue.
Because obviously it's just the sheer unoriginality of it. It just makes me cringe every time I see something.
I have to agree. Like, the amount of times I've seen a club T-shirt from somebody else.
They were clever at first, like Joey Ryan's King of Dong style. That was funny. But it's just
famous
like
penis wrestler Joey Ryan.
Yeah, but it's just like every single person who's got like the slightest gimmick, you think, oh, I can be king of this style. No, be your own fucking thing.
Yeah, okay, yeah, King of Stingy style, something
King of
like that.
Scouse style.
If you've got
another
rip-off. I think that's just Scouse style. He's not King of. It's just Scouse style, which in turn is just kind of a rip-off of Strong style.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but it's not so much just ripping things off in general. It's always like that and Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Specifically, if you're gonna do it something that's not already in wrestling.
I could see that, like a football kit or something.
Yeah. Like, or off anything like a film or a game or a comic or anything. Something that's relevant.
I can handle that.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's the whole point. I think this is something that wrestling has kind of veered out of that it used to do all the time, which was they used to borrow from mainstream media constantly, and now it doesn't. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to say, like, to be fair, if someone comes out wearing like a Love Island like designed T-shirt with their own thing in it, like, fair play, well done, sir. You have capitalised on the you can write that one down. like you capitalised on one of the biggest crazes going right now. It's like the or like Progress held a tournament.
Yeah.
It was a one-night tournament, but every single person was from a different country who was represented in the World Cup, and they had their own mini World Cup tournament at Progress, and it's like I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah.
So something like I can see what you mean.
Yeah, it really bothers me when I see stuff like that. Another rip-off of something that's already in the business. When was it? I think it was when I saw Kirby Mania, the What Culture show that they had in Liverpool. No, this is a good example. I think it was Doug Williams was Mr. Brexit at the time.
Amazing.
I love that. It capitalised on honestly.
Excellent. Yeah, there's been on top of that as well. There's been so many. There's actually like an influx of Tory gimmicks. I can think of 3 straight away, and they're all actually, funnily enough, from Scotland, Liverpool, and London. It's got a good range going on.
Yeah.
If there's one in Bristol, give me or Birmingham, give me a holler. I'm just talking. Just add another Tory wrestler to the map. Not that they're actually Tory wrestlers, they're just portraying that character. But anyway.
Not that you have a map either.
Not that I do have a map either.
So yeah,
Keeping track of these. Go on.
The gripe I grapple with is ripping off fucking Strong Style, Bullet Club, or just anything that's in WWE at the minute.
Yeah.
Really.
Can you think of any other suggestions? Or any other inclinations of when that's happened?
God, no, it's almost just like every like.
Because I know King of Something Style and Something Club are very popular.
They're the 2 big ones to me that always stand out. Every indie wrestler's getting the first load of merch in, or like usually does something like that. I just want to smack him around the face.
Fair play. That's a very good point, Alex.
Well.
Oh, here we go.
Mine is. Sorry, I've got a bite on my arm. It really is. Sorry, mine is.
That's pretty personal gripe to do with wrestling. I was going to say.
Mine is 50-50 booking, where 1 week the face goes over, so the next week the heel has to go over, and then the next week the face goes over, and then the week after that the heel has to go over.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty. Although I don't know many indies that do that. I
know that's. Well, this is why it was my WWE one, Kieran, and you said that I had to change it.
Well, that's it. Change it just to judge up two different ones.
Well, I did say that WWE do it more. So, okay.
I'm sure
and to be
happens
fair,
in other places.
It does happen in other places because me and Pete can account for this.
Okay.
Unless you me, because I go over all the time there. I do go over quite a lot. Literally every match go over.
Okay.
But anyway, so it just really offends me when because it's like, well, now we know I was winning because the fucking heel won last week. The only time that they don't really do it is when obviously it's like a jobber. But then again, that's real obvious. Like when they bring those random people in to face Braun Strowman and he just choke slams them and then that's it. What is the point? What's the point? You have enough talent on your shows. You don't need to bring things in, and don't make it so obvious. It would make it mean so much more if I wouldn't have had a match now. I can say this from experience. I've been pushed to the fucking moon at a certain promotion. I've been pushed to the moon there, and that's made it mean more because now when I get beat, when Holly beat me, wasn't it a shock? Everyone was like, holy fucking shit, because I'd not been pinned in fuck knows how long. Even when we had tag matches and I was team lost, I was out of the match. I'd gone and fought to the back. And it meant so much when this other person won and got put over. Everyone was like, holy fucking shit, Alex been beat. Now I'm back to my winning ways. But, and I think that it puts the babyface over because when you, say, for example, even the heel, say, for example, the heel keeps dropping out. If I kept dropping out, then one day I won, I could do the whole Bo Dallas run around the line, what? And everyone would be like, she's done it, she's fucking won it. And then it'd be a laugh. And then, if the heel kept winning and then the babyface overcame the odds because they've beaten loads of times and it's just comes a laugh for the heel to keep beating him. And finally when the face beats him, it's like, oh, that's so nice. And you can still put people over. You don't, just because you don't have to do 50-50 booking to make each other look strong. You can do a shit ton of near falls. You can get whoever's losing to get all their shitting in the match. Make them look better. Do you know what I mean? just do a different finish each time. One week go over clean if you're a heel. I'm talking as if I'm a heel here. But one week go over clean, next week go over with interference, next week go over by submission, the next week go over by pinfall, next week go over by count out. Just or even like, I wouldn't even bother if it was like 3 wins, then 1 win, and then like, or like 3 to 3 wins. But it's when it's like 1-1-1-1-1-1.
Yeah,
it just stresses me.
I can tell.
So,
My interpretation
Yeah.
of why 50-50 booking is a thing is, to me, a reflection of just how things are nowadays, with everyone is a winner, everyone gets a participation award.
That's
think wins and losses don't matter, and they absolutely do.
That gripes me so hard.
Did you see Road Dogg tweet that?
No,
he did. He was like, "Oh, wins and losses don't matter." Really? Tell that to like Hulk Hogan.
Fuck Road Dogg.
You really think Hulk Hogan would have got over it? He only won it like half the time.
But that's what I
if
mean.
him and
Like,
Warrior were going back and forth, just trading wins.
Yeah.
here we are though. Look at Asuka.
Yeah.
How over was she? Because she won every match.
Yeah.
So she got over by doing that because she won every match.
Goldberg.
And then you get people who do the 50-50 bookings and it's like,
Strowman.
oh, they're alright.
Okada.
Oh, fucking Carter.
Like, if we just kept having... Like you said, Okada's been beaten twice in a row, just recently.
That's newsworthy.
Like, oh my god, like... Because it's not 50-50 booking, it's boss. Everyone's like, it's the fucking talk of the century. Okada's been beaten twice.
In 3 days.
News. Immediate news.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like, I cannot stand it when people are trading things back and forth, and like to use an example of people not using 50-50 booking and doing booking well. TNT, Joe Connors was their world champion, undefeated, and so like rightly so. And then Volta comes along and has now beaten him, is now the champion. Everyone instantly looks to who the next undefeated person is, which is Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin is equally as undefeated, and is now looking at and is now like eyeing up a title shot. So it definitely works in the sense that that like that's like you line up your next person. And I remember Just Do Dan, they had whoever was set to face the champion couldn't make the show for whatever reason, and Dan was like, "What are we gonna do?" And Dan went, "Well, I'll have to face him." And we're like, "All right, well, like, what other reason have you got for this other than you're the booker and promoter and you're just gonna put yourself against your champion?" It's like, well, no, because I've won the most matches out of everybody else other than that guy, so it makes sense for me to be the next number one contender. I'm like, oh my god, that's perfect. When it works in that way, pins and losses don't count. Fuck off, Road Dogg. Jesus, that man is running SmackDown Live into the ground.
Do you know what I do quite like? When they put a replacement in, so everyone's like, oh, they're not going over, it's a replacement.
I think it's like it's almost like a given. Like, if you get put into a match as a replacement, especially in WWE, that you are winning.
And then it's like really good, especially when they have titles, like, because even the like
I'm pretty
now
sure,
we
like,
know that it's
Sasha got put in at one point and she won it.
She won.
Yeah.
I know that we all like kind of know now because we're like old enough and wise enough to know what's going on with WWE booking.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It was still kind of like a shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't planned. That wasn't planned last week.
That wasn't.
Because it's kind of cool that last week somebody different was going over. I quite like that. I quite like the idea that, who knows, maybe fucking Becky Lynch was going over and Sasha Banks came in.
WCW with Hulk Hogan and Sting deciding mid-match, like, yeah, no, Hulk's going to go over. 50-50 booking. That's very well argued. Candy, your gripe, sir.
My gripe with wrestling, and again, it's primarily WWE, but it happens in other places, is crowds who try and get themselves over with shite chanting.
Prime example, last night.
Yeah,
last
The
night
Meatball.
/ Extreme Rules for whenever this goes out. But you had the main event of Ziggler and... Wow, it was a long time ago. I'm trying to think. Ziggler and Rollins, thank you. In an Iron Man match, and every time it's counted out from 10, people counted out the clock and went at 0, and then.
Maybe it'd have been funny like twice.
Then they booed when the clock was taken away.
He was chanting
We want
Daniel
the
Bryan.
clock.
They were chanting for Daniel Bryan, started doing the yes chants.
They were just... Yeah, I totally...
I understand with the Roman situation, the trying
I even don't agree with it on that.
I can see the trying to voice their disdain, but they're doing it in the wrong way by hijacking matches.
The way that I look at it is that, and people probably agree with this, if you're a heel, you want heat. Mm-hmm. So you want those chants. I think it would be funny if people were doing that.
It was like with...
But at the end of the day, Roman Reigns, people don't like him, but those chants and like what they did at Mania, like
Jinder Mahal and Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank as well.
I'm sorry, what they did to Brock and Roman at Mania, it was a shit main event, it was. Roman bled, legit.
Yep.
For their fucking entertainment.
But I think that was done, that I can almost, like, that wasn't that done mid-match.
And they still carry on booing there. Like, the way that you look at it, we go out and put our fucking bodies on the line for other people's entertainments, for people to start chanting, this is shit. I would love for those to get in the ring and even attempt to do half of what Roman does. And he didn't do a lot.
From what you're saying, like, I can fully appreciate it, and of course, like, you know, anybody who goes out there and steps and has the guts to step in between the ropes deserves a maximum amount of credit every single time. But the only argument I can make for those fans was that the amount of money that they paid to be at that show, and that's what they got.
Why pay that much when if you don't?
Because you're going to buy. No, right.
Everyone
you're
knows that Roman was
going
to be in the main event. So if you didn't want him to, if you didn't want to see it, why go?
Because it's WrestleMania, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but so what? But if you don't want to see it, then leave the stadium.
I think most people did, to be fair. Well, I'm not saying most. It was a large stadium.
But that's what I mean. Like, if I really didn't want to go, like, if I wanted to see Eminem, right, in concert, but he was only the support act for Ellie Goulding. Now I fucking hate Ellie Goulding. I won't fucking buy a ticket just to see Eminem for fucking 10 minutes.
I know people who bought tickets to like see Avenged Sevenfold when they were supporting, when they were headlining, but Disturbed were supporting them, and they left. Like they listened to so they can't.
Yeah, so why don't they just watch the matches they want to watch, and then WWE was kind enough to leave Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar on until the very end, so you didn't have to sit through it.
7 hours. So how gracious of them!
You didn't have to sit through it at the start if you didn't want to watch it.
It's not even the Reigns matches that I hate most chants, especially in NXT. The last 2 or 3 takeovers I've watched with the sound down, so you can still hear the commentary, but the crowd are pretty much muted because they have to chant one fall. They have to chant this is awesome when people are stood across from each other, like they've not even done anything yet. What I also hate is we want tables.
Hate that.
I hate that because this is another thing. Why should we have to get tables for people's entertainment? Like, why do they want us to like fucking nearly kill ourselves? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we're doing enough. We're taking enough bumps.
It's like the crowd goers, like, they feel so entitled. They're like, we want this, so you have to get. Like, no,
I don't.
Go fuck yourselves.
Do you know the worst thing I saw of that? Because I was watching an OSW episode today. Was ECW One Night Stand 06, and Mick Foley and Edge get a barbed wire board out from underneath the ring, that the crowd pop for it, go mental. 6 seconds later, the crowd are chanting, "We want fire." This board, no one's even been put on the board yet. No one has physically put themselves on a barbed wire board, and the fans were chanting, "We want fire." Like, unbelievable.
The ultimate level of disrespect there. It's got to be the beach ball.
It's got
to be the beach ball.
Mexican wave.
Next wave splash.
Yeah.
We've seen
that's bad. I saw that. Yeah, I saw them couple of them at the World Cup as well, and they were. That's disrespectful in any case.
Too
whenever
sweet
that
from
one.
a pinfall.
Get out.
Fuck off. I hate people. That's my gripe.
People.
No, and then when you get Way or Awesome chants as well.
That is the ultimate dickhead of dickheadness.
There was I can't remember what NXT it was. I think it was like the takeover where Aleister Black debuted, and there was like a section of the crowd who was chanting "We are awesome," and then the rest of the crowd start chanting "Shut the fuck up" at them.
But again, that's taken away from what's going on in the ring.
Yeah.
And you're paying your money to see what's happening in the ring, and yet you're getting distracted by some fella over there who's dressed like Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Giving it all.
What was the funniest chant? There was one me and you really popped out. It wasn't that long ago. I really can't remember what it was. But there was one that we were really fucking popping at.
Was it NXT?
No, it was on. I think it was something like "Fuck You, Roman," something like that, but worse. And we did kind of snigger. We was here watching it.
Oh right, it might have been Mania then.
Probably was. It was one we definitely laughed at. So even though I agree that it's like really annoying, I did kind of.
Sometimes
sometimes can't help but laugh.
Yeah, sometimes.
Some are good, and especially if timed right, then they're good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Most of the time,
so that I think
everyone's
on when it's timed right, like when this is what I was thinking about with NXT. Ciampa got like I think it was like body slammed onto the concrete or something like that, or Gargano did something like really bad to him, and the crowd chanted "You deserve it." Like what an amazing flip on its head chant! Like that chant that was brilliant.
According to most wrestlers, that is the chant they hate most.
You deserve it. Really?
I know. I also hate "You still got it."
Oh yeah.
Especially when guys aren't even that old.
Yeah.
Or like haven't been away from the business for that long.
No, I think if like the only time I think it was deserved maybe would have been for Bryan when he came back from injury. He'd not been used. You know what I mean? Something like that.
I'd say maybe Goldberg, but I don't think that match went long enough. For
anyone to chant
I
anyone.
also think the "You Suck" to Kurt Angle's very still.
That's just a classic one, isn't it? And since it's a nostalgic one,
when they do it now, it's more of just we can still chant this, even though.
Yeah.
I mean, well, as he proved at Extreme Rules, he just cut straight through it and just like kept and did what he had to say.
I think even he's pissed off with it now. He's like,
damn you, Edge. I'm joking. I love you. Yeah. So is that your gripe?
Yeah, I think so.
Soul. Okay, fair play. Okay, so in summary, the T-shirts. Yeah, I agree. Like, especially now, it's like everyone's resorting to it. It's like, just give it a rest. Get some originality in that. Like Pete Dunne and Trent Seven have unbelievably good merch because it's original. Because it's like, because exactly what I've just said. And people who borrow stuff like if it's, I don't know, if there's a certain cleverness to it, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But if it's blatant rip-offs, I'm like, no. The fan chants, I am a massive, being a ring announcer, I quite like the 1-4 thing. But no, it's because it gives me a little bit of extra interaction.
It lets you get over, so you're like, yes.
Not really. See, I don't even think it's that. I think it's just like it's just an extra bit of interaction that doesn't damage the match.
The 1-4 don't bother me. It just shows that you're excited for the match a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Can't wait to hear what gets announced, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like because that's always the anticipation. Like you engage people with the 1-4 thing, and then you go is a tag team match, and if it's like the only tag team match on the card and it's a big one, everyone goes, you start hearing these rumbles in the crowd because you start getting excited for it. So I mean, that's only with the 1-4 though. With every other chant that you've said, like I totally agree. Fans hijacking shows is so annoying. I genuinely think, and this is biggest, and I think this is an even bigger sign of disrespect. But if you're like as Alex said, if you're a heel or whatever, you want heat. You want heat in whatever way. I would genuinely, for Roman Reigns, I would stand up in my seat and turn around and back-faced, not give them the satisfaction.
Yes, sir.
That's how you send a message in wrestling. You don't give them anything.
I know.
The anti-pop.
The people who don't get any reaction at all are the people that Vince actually pays attention to and goes, actually, yeah, fuck it, he can go back down to NXT.
Exactly.
Or, actually, yeah, fuck it, no, he ain't getting used anymore.
Like, there was, so that's the most annoying, like, for all these guys who claim to be so clued up on the business and stuff like that, for them still to, like, think that moaning and whinging about it online and going boo whenever a wrestler comes out, it's like, that's what they want.
I wouldn't mind.
You're still getting a reaction, turn your back.
I would let my 1-4 gripe go if in the next 2 out of 3 falls match, all the fans go, best 2 out of 3 falls! And then the people get announced. But they're not clever enough to do that.
No, also it takes a long time. It just takes effort.
1 second.
Yeah, but for all those people to do it.
They're now going to spend the next 25 minutes shouting, we want beach ball sucks.
Oh, it's sad but true. No, but, however, I am going to give this win to 50-50 booking. I cannot.
Fucking yes!
Cannot stand it. Wins and losses mean everything like they do in every other form of sport. And
I know, no one ever won the Premier League by winning one and losing one.
exactly.
It's not coming on. It doesn't matter. Wins and losses. Don't matter.
Wins, yeah, it's still coming home. Like it still hurts. So yeah, 50-50 booking can actually fuck off. It's just awful. So that's been 50-50 booking and premature NXT call-ups have been future endeavoured or have been relegated to the pre-show. I don't know. We need to come up with an actual we'll come up with an actual thing in the future when we do this again.
I think being future endeavoured is worse than the pre-show.
It is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, not even future endeavoured. What happened to Big Cast?
Cast.
Has been fired. You get Big Cast. Big Cast mixed with Enzo. Like the way he was fired was pretty brutal.
True.
You've been Enzo and Cast, 50-50 booking and premature NXT call-ups. Anyway, folks, thank you for listening to our first ever Grappling with Gripes episode. We're sure we'll do another one of these whenever we can't think of anything else to do. So do not forget to like, comment and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on Instagram as well. We've got Instagram. I haven't mentioned that for a couple of weeks. We've got Instagram and also on Spreaker too. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you again very, very soon. Cheers for listening. Bye bye.
Proud.
Bye.